Peterbot, the best player in the world right now, just revealed his LAN setup, and it's surprisingly different from what you'd expect. He's playing on a 2017 monitor, running Windowed Fullscreen even at LAN, and sticking to 1000 Hz polling rate on his mouse, even though it's capable of going up to 8000 Hz. Everything regarding Peterbot's setup will make sense after this video. Starting off though with Peterbot's LAN settings and environment, because this is where things get interesting. We can see here from a brief pause that he is indeed using Windowed Fullscreen even at LAN, which makes you wonder, considering every pro player is using Fullscreen, why doesn't Peterbot follow the crowd? Well, I suspect it's for two reasons. Number one is the faster alt-tabbing. In Windowed Fullscreen, switching between applications is quicker and smoother. When you alt-tab from Fullscreen, there's often a stutter or like a delay. Then number two is preference. It could actually just feel smoother for him, even though technically it does have more delay according to Nvidia's testing. He may have just gotten so used to using this setting that he prefers it because it's familiar. Next up is 240Hz frame limit, which some of you will know he has been using for a while, not just at this LAN event, but the reason behind this is because the actual monitors that are provided at these Fortnite events are all a 2017 Alienware AW2518HF monitor, an almost 8-year-old 240Hz display. And yes, these are the exact same monitors they used at the World Cup, so I wouldn't be surprised if Epic Games had these monitors stashed away in some sort of warehouse since then. But the real reason why I suspect they are using these monitors is due to the refresh rate. 240Hz is more consistent for competitive play, especially in Fortnite when the end games get really chaotic and frame rates tend to drop. While 360Hz monitors do seem to be the standard today for like mostly everyone and are extremely popular, even in 2025 you can't beat the stability of using 240Hz and 240 FPS in the frame limit cap. Overall stability is what really matters in these endgames. Speaking of LAN provider gear, his desk and chair were also set up for him. Those are the Blacklight Athena X gaming chair and the Blacklight Atlas gaming desk. From the looks of them, they do look pretty standard, but they do seem big enough for players to play at their best. For those wondering how this compares to his LAN setup, you can see the difference in tables right here. Oh, and fun fact, he is using a very cheap desk and very cheap chair at home. Even though Peterbot is worth a lot of money, you've got to respect him for that. Oh, another thing we got to see was his headset. That's the HyperX Cloud 3. This confirms that he did in fact upgrade his headset from the broken one, which was the Cloud 2's.
I'm gonna be winning grands on a broken headset.
You can see the difference between the previous model and the newer model he's using right now. Now let's move on to his mouse setup. Peterbot is using the Logitech G Pro X Superlight 2, a lightweight competitive mouse that's very popular amongst pros. What's different this time about the mouse itself is the polling rate. He is using 1000 Hz, and he did actually confirm it recently on stream saying this.
What polling rate do you use? I use 1K.
While the Superlight 2 is capable of up to 8000 Hz, he sticks to 1000 Hz for overall stability, meaning no stutters, just smooth performance. It's also interesting because regardless of what mouse companies say about higher polling rates, reducing delay and such, it mustn't make that much of a difference yet, or Peterbot would be using a higher polling rate than 1000 Hz. For his mouse pad, he's changed it slightly to the smaller GameSense Radar Benji Fishy edition in the large size. Normally, he does use the desk size one at home, but at LAN, it seems that the larger size gives him better desk control without overcrowding his area. I'm assuming he didn't know what size desk he would get, so he just played it safe via using the large one over the desk size one. As for his settings, by the way, I'll quickly run through them. He is still using 800 DPI with an in-game sense of 6.4. That gives him an eDPI of around 51.2. This equals to a medium low-end sensitivity, which is why you can see his arm doing a lot of movement. I've had a lot of comments speculating that his mouse DPI is higher, but it is not. Now some of you may be wondering about his mouse grip because it does look rather unique, and what this right here is called is the 1-3-1 grip, which means you've got 1 on the left side, 3 on the top, and 1 on the right, which is a really interesting grip because it gives him constant access to the scroll wheel, which means his wall resets and picking up weapons are basically instant. To me, this looks like a better claw grip. Next is his keyboard setup. Now I can confirm that Peterbot is using the SteelSeries Apex Pro 10 key less in the 2023 version. Yes, that's the 2023 version and not the 2019 version, like his Twitch command does say that he is currently using. The way I know this is because the newer version has a couple of key differences. The scroll wheel and backlighting button are now embedded into the screen instead of being separate, and the page up button now only has PU instead of previously having M3 and PG up. As for his keyboard settings, he's still got an actuation point of 0.2mm. If you don't know, this is how much pressure you can apply on a key before it does activate. For comparison, a normal keyboard is around 1.2mm, so essentially Peterbot barely has to press a key for it to activate, which speeds up everything massively. You've also got the rapid trigger feature, which he is using, and he does only have it on the edit key. What this means is the key resets the moment he lifts his finger, allowing for insanely fast edits. Now while we talk about his keyboard, I do want to obviously mention the keyboard tilt he has. I might be wrong, but this to me looks to be around 80%, which is super aggressive, but it's not as aggressive as vertically. The reason behind him doing this is so he can open up his desk space for even smoother mouse movement. Without having a keyboard tilt, he could feel more restricted. Finally, while talking about his keyboard, we have to mention his key binds. These right here are super unique. You can see how fast he's actually pressing each key. It does blow your mind. But what's interesting about these is even though they may seem chaotic at first, they do actually help him maintain full movement while building and editing. So you could consider them somewhat optimal. If you haven't checked out his game settings profile, his wall is on T, his floor is on Y, his stairs is on F, his roof is on V, and his edit is on G. Now while using keys like T and Y may seem very strange, with his exact hand size and the way he positions his hand, these binds let him build, edit, and switch weapons while maintaining full directional movement. And yes, that is without using the double movement settings. So while these keybinds may not be optimal for everyone, they're perfectly tailored to him and allow him to compete clearly at the highest level. But yeah, that's it for Peterbot's full LAN setup. Shout out to AussieAntics on Twitch for recording all this at LAN. Without this footage, a lot of this wouldn't have been revealed. Overall though, not a lot has changed, but there is some interesting things to point out. If you want more breakdowns like this, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and be sure to check out any of my other videos on screen right now.